So is the screen is visible?
Sir.
Okay, so in the last class we discussed about the 4-port network. Okay, how the S parameters it is coming, and also the important factors, that is coupling, directivity, isolation and all. Okay, so now today we'll discuss about the T junction power divider. So if you take the T junction power divider, if you see here, if you look at here, so it can be realized in terms of microstrip, or it can be realized in terms of waveguide. Okay, so this is a 3-port network. So using a microstrip line also you can able to realize. So this is a example for E plane power divider, and this is H plane power divider. Okay, so this is a lossless junction. So if you take lossless T junction power divider, so it can be modeled it as a transmission line. Okay, so due to this, at this junction, due to the fringing fields and also higher order modes, there is a, so at this discontinuity it will be having some, so since there is sudden abrupt change, so that's why at this junction there is a discontinuity and it will be having, so it may exist higher order modes. So because of this, so it exists, because of this gap it exists some susceptance. Okay, so due to this, so the abrupt change or discontinuity, there will be some capacitance which exists, that will be so given by the susceptance, that is capacitive reactance. Okay, so now if you take the port, so this is 3-port network T junction power divider. If you take 3-port network, so this is a port 1 which is matched so with the Z0, and this, if you take the different impedances, that is Z1 and Z2, now how the power will be divided, you can calculate it. Okay, so that we will see how the power will be divided. So now, as I said, so there is a discontinuity at the junction, so there will be existence of some capacitance effect, so that will give the reactive capacitive reactance, that will be called it as susceptance. So now if you see at the input side, so if you see at the input side of this port, if you want to write the admittance of this network, so this will be given by 1 over Z1 plus 1 over Z2. Okay, so or if you, in terms of impedance, if you write Y in equal to 1 over Zin. So okay, so if you take it at the input side, the impedance, so 1 over Zin equal to 1 over Z1 plus 1 over Z2, so that we have written here. So plus the reactive capacitance, that is, sorry, capacitive reactance, that is J into B. So now if we want to calculate the input impedance, so assume that this is very much negligible, that is the susceptance is very much negligible, and it is, so it will be 0. So if we consider it as 0, and also the characteristic impedance are real, say for example the port impedances which we are taking here, Z1 and Z2, it will be real. So if you assume that condition, and if you go on calculating what is the power, it will be divided. So then the equation will be, so this will be 0, and your if you want to match the input port here, so that Y in should be equal to 1 over Z0. So if I want to match the port 1, so then we have to uh, take that Y in is equal to Z0, that is y in equal to 1 over Z0. So as I said, if B is not negligible, then there is a discontinuity, and also some reactive tuning elements need to be taken to cancel that susceptance. Even some reactive tuning elements, it won't work for the wide frequency of range, only it will work for the narrow frequency range. So now these output line impedances Z1 and Z2 can be selected to provide power division ratios. As I said, so you can select the impedances Z1 and Z2. According to this Z1 and Z2, the power will going to be divided. So either it may be equal split. So for example, if you want to take the Z1 and Z2 100 ohms each, then you can equally split the power. So now if you take, say for example, if I take the power division 2 is to 1. Okay, say for example, so here you will be having port 1 which will be having Z0, and this is port 2, and this is port 3. Okay, so this is your port 2 and this is your port 3. So now if I having, so here, so as I said, the susceptance we assume it as 0 and this will be your y in, and your this will be having impedance z1 and this will be having impedance z2. Okay, so now, so if I take a different ratios, the power ratio, that is p1 by p2, that is, so if you assume p2, that is port 2 power and port 3 power, which is equal to 2 is to 1 ratio. So this will be the ratio if we want to divide. So then what is the impedances I need to calculate it. Okay, so now if you take this port 1 as power input, okay, so now what is the power input? So if I assume this voltage at this junction, which is equal to v naught, okay, so now what is the power? Power in equal to, you will be having v naught square divided by 2 into z naught. So since the impedance in the characteristic impedance at the port 1 or input port will be z naught, so you will be getting p in equal to v naught square by 2 z naught. So now if you take this ratio, so what will be the total power? The total power will be equal to p in equal to p2 plus p3. Okay, so now if you take this ratio of power division, what you will get? P2 equal to 2 times P3. So now if you substitute this value of P2, so what you will get? P2 plus 2 times of P2 is 2 times of P3. So that you take and you substitute here 2 times of P3. Okay, 2 times of P3 plus you will be having P3 as it is. So okay, so now what your P in will be? P in will be equal to, okay, so P2 equal to 2P3 and okay, this is 3 times of P3. So now we know the input power and substitute for P3, what you will get? So we will get P3 equal to P in divided by 3. So that will be equal to 1 by 3 times of V naught square by 2 Z naught. Okay, and similarly you can calculate. So if you substitute P3 in this equation, you will get the again equation for P2, or you can take it in P3 value here, you will get the value of P2. So now what is P2? So if I write here P2 equal to, so 2 times of P3. So now we know the P3 value here, so which is equal to 1 over 3 into, so V naught square by 2 Z naught. So now if you 2 will get cancel each other, so this will be equal to 1 over 3 into P naught square by Z naught. So that is your P2. Okay, so now P2 and P3 we have calculated. So now corresponding impedance I need to calculate. So how to calculate corresponding impedance? So equate the power whatever we are getting P1 and, so in terms of ratios. So what you will get? So now I got, so the P in equal to half into V naught square by Z naught, and whatever uh, P2 which is I am getting, which is equal to 1 over 3 okay, what I taken ratio P2 by 3 equal to 2 by 1, P2 equal to 2 times of P3. So now what is P2? So okay, so which I have calculated. Okay, so again I need to see what is the value of P2. Times P3. Okay, so again we'll see P in equal to, okay, times P3, P2 plus P3. So this will be equal to 2 times P3 plus P3. So this will be equal to 3P3 So P3 equal to P in by 3, that is 1 by 3 of P in. So you will get P3 and P2. So again, so if you take here P2 2 times of P3, that is P3 is 1 by 3 into P in, which is equal to 2 by 3 of P in. So now if you equate this P in and P3 values or P2 values, you will get in terms of that Z0 in terms of Z1. So now what is P3 in terms of Z1? So if I write, that is 1 over 3 times of in terms of Z1. So because we have taken the impedances in terms of Z1 and Z2, okay, Z1 and Z2, and here it is Z0. So now if I take power in terms of Z1, so your P3 will be equal to, so 1 by 3 times of P in. So in terms of Z1, if I take 1 by 3 times of, so half into V0 square by Z1, and similarly you will get P2. So in terms of, so that is 2 times and 1 over 3 into P in, that is 1 by 2 into V0 square by Z2. Okay, so this will be get cancelled. So you will get this one it has. So now if we okay, so this is P3. Just a minute, we need to equate these equations. So if you equate this equation P3, if you in terms of if you write in terms of the impedance values, that is 1 over 3 into V0 square by, so V0 square by, so Z1, and this will be equal to 1 by 3 into half into V0 square by Z0. So now if you calculate cancel this one, so what you will get, so Z0 in terms of Z1, so that will be equal to, so just a minute, so I got here fusion. So we got the P3 in terms of P in and P2 in terms of P in. Okay, so this is 1 by 3 times of P in and this is 2 by 3 terms of P in. So now if we express P3 in terms of Z1, that is half into V0 square by Z1, and similarly P2 half into V0 square by Z2. So now we need to equate these two equations, and you know already P in, that will be equal to half into V0 square by Z0, and similarly this one half into V0 square by Z0. So now what we will get, so this half will get cancel each other here, so V0 square will get cancel each other, and your Z1 will be equal to, so Z0, so 1 over, so if you take this one, 1 over Z1 equal to 1 by 3 into 1 over Z0, so that will be equal to Z1 equal to 3 times Z0. So this you are getting. So if you equate P3 and in terms of P1, and similarly if you equate P2, which is equal to 2 by 3 P in, that is P2 equal to 2 by 3 times of P in. So P2 we know in terms of Z2, so that is 1 over 2 into V0 square by, so Z2, so which is equal to 2 by 3 times of half V0 square by Z0. So this will get cancel each other and this will get cancel each other. Now Z2 will be equal to 2Z0 by So that if you take here, okay, so your Z1 will be equal to, or in port 2, so Z1 will be equal to your 3 times Z0, and Z2 will be equal to, in port 3, it will be equal to 2 Z0 by 3. So and your input port will be matched, that is port 1. So this is what we have calculated. So now if I want to see the matching, whether it is port 1 is matching or not, so then you take the parallel combination of this. So if you take the input impedance looking into this one, which will be taking it as Z in, so this will be parallel combination of this, that will be, so Z in equal to Z1 parallel combination of Z2. So now what will be the Z0 value? So we assume always the Z0 value characteristic impedance 50 ohm. So now if you take Z0 as 50 ohm, so your Z1 will be 150 ohm. Parallel to Z2 will be, so 2 into, that is 50, that is 100. So 100 by 3. So here, sorry, so 2 Z2 will be 3 times Z0 by 2. So here it is mistaken, that is Z2 if you take this side and if you send this side, it is 3 Z0 by 2. Okay, so now if you take 3 Z0 by 2, so this will be 50 ohm, and 3 into 50, 150 divided by 2, it is 75 ohm. Okay, so your Z1 will be parallel to 150 and 75 ohm. So if you calculate this one, that is 150 into 75 divided by 150 plus 75. So how much you will get? So you can calculate this one and you will get it as 50 ohm, that is your input impedance. So if you take these values, it will be matched. Okay, so the input port which will be equal to matched. Okay, so now if I calculate the reflection coefficient in this port, which is Zin equal to, so Zin minus Z0 divided by Zin plus Z0. So if you calculate the gamma in, so we have calculated Zin as 50 ohm and characteristic impedance we have taken as 50 ohm. So 50 minus 50 by 50 plus 50, this will give the reflection coefficient 0. So that means it is matched at the port 1. And similarly, the reflection coefficients looking at port 2 you can calculate, and reflection coefficient port 3 you can calculate. So what is the reflection coefficient at port 2? So it is, so the impedance which is looking at here, it is, so 150 ohm, and whatever the impedance looking at here it is, so you will get, so first we need to take the parallel combination of this in order to see this as the input port. Okay, in order to calculate the reflection coefficient at port 2. So now what is the parallel combination of this port 1 and port 2? So if you take the parallel combination of port 1 and, so here port 3 in order to calculate the reflection coefficient at port 2. So what is port 1 impedance, which is 50 ohm, in parallel combination of this one, which is equal to, so 150 ohm. So now, so this parallel combination of impedance, what it is giving here, so this will give, so 50 into 150 divided by, so 200 ohm. So if you calculate this one, you will get around 30, around 37.5 ohm. So now this is the impedance which is, so acting it as a load, and if you take the input impedance as Z1, so which is equal to 150. So sorry, this one it is, yeah, this is 75 and this is 150, and here, so Z2 is 75. So here in terms of 75 you take, so this will give, so 75 into 50 by 75 plus 50, that is 125. So this will give around 30 ohm. Okay, so if you calculate, that will give around 30 ohm. So now if you take the impedance at this input impedance, that Z1, if you calculate the gamma at port 2, okay, So this will be, so Z1 minus the whatever the combination which we calculated, which is acts as a ZL, and this one Z1 plus 30. So now what is Z1? So Z1 will be your 150 ohm. So if you take that, so 150 minus 30 divided by 150 plus 30, that will become 180. So this will be 120 by 180. So your gamma will be equal to 2 by 3. Okay. So now this is the reflection coefficient seen at port 2. And similarly, if you take at port 3, so similarly if you take at port 3, this will be the parallel combination. So you need to take, so you need to take gamma 3, which is equal to Z2 minus, so the parallel combination, which is, so 50 parallel combination of, that is 150. So this will be equal to Z, so divided by Z2 plus this one parallel combination. So this will give around 37.5. So this if you calculate, so this Z2 will be 75 as we know, and this 75 plus 37.5. So you will get gamma 3, which will be equal to, so this will be equal to around 0.3, you may get. So you can calculate that also. So now if you take that T junction power divider, what will be the reflection coefficient looking at this port, that is port 2 and port 3, even though if the power is divided, but the reflection which is coming from port 2 and port 3, okay, so that will affect the, so the port 1 which is there. So that's why, so since the port 2 and port 3 is not able to match in this one, so this T junction power divider generally won't prefer. So that's why what we need to do, so instead of this T junction power divider, we go for the resistive power divider. Okay, so that is what here. So if you want equal split division, you can take it as port 2 and port 3 as 100 ohm, or if you divide it 2:1 ratio like that, you can have a Z1 and Z2 with different impedances. So that's why, so since the port output ports are not matched in this uh, T junction power divider, so we will go for the resistive divider. So now what this resistive divider, so even this resistive divider will give you equal power division, and also the output ports are matched. So but these resistors which we added, which will be having a lossy, so some of the power will going to be lost in this resistances, but still the output ports are matched, and also the power division will happen. So that's why this resistive power divider will be better compared to T junction power divider, since it will be the ports are matched. Okay, so now if you analyze this one, so at the input impedance, or at the input port and at the output ports, what will be the power delivered? So now if you assume, so here at this junction, so this is the parallel combination of the network. If I want to calculate what is the impedance here at this point, okay, so if I calculate the impedance at this point, what will happen? So this will be having Z0 and this will be having Z0 by 3. So if you take it, the total impedance looking at this point, so this will be Z0 by 3 plus Z0. So this will give, so 4 Z0 by 3. So only this portion, and if you take this portion again, it will give 4 Z0 by 3. So now if I take the parallel combination of these two, so the impedance looking at this point, it will be equal to 4 Z0 by 3 in parallel with 4 Z0 by 3. So now what will happen, this one, so if you take same combination, it will be giving the impedance which is 2 Z0 by 3. Okay, so now this is the impedance looking at this point. So now if I say input impedance, if I want to calculate input impedance, whatever the impedance looking at this point plus Z0 by 3. So what will be your input impedance now? Input impedance now it will be 2Z0 by 3 plus again Z0 by 3. So this will give Zin equal to Z0. That will be the matched condition for this port 1. Okay, matched condition. And similarly, so why we need to match? So in order to avoid the reflections, we need to match the all the ports. Okay, port 1, port 2 and port 3. So now we have matched the port 1 since the network is symmetric about this junction. So if you look at this, the input impedance, this will be also matched. Okay, so since the same Z0 by 3 is there in this also, so this will give the same matching at port 2 as well as the port 3. So now if we calculate the voltages at corresponding port 2 and port 3, so let us assume this voltage at this point is V1 and voltage at this point is V2 and voltage at this point is V3, and the junction voltage we can take it as V. So now if we calculate what is the voltages, so calculate the voltage. So if I take this voltage at this point, so if I calculate for this only this combination, that is this line, so what you will get, so only at this point we are calculating, so whatever the voltage so which is appearing here, so that will be multiplied by Z0 by 3, so divided by the combination of the resistors. So simply the divider rule, so you apply, then you will get the voltage combination. So now if I calculate the voltage at this point, so what will be your voltage, so at the junction, so if I calculate voltage at junction, so we know already this the parallel combination which gives 2Z0 by 3. Okay, so if I calculate the voltage at 2Z0 by 3, so which is equal to, so what is the voltage here, voltage here at V1, and only we need to calculate the voltage at this point which is 2Z0 by 3, the parallel combination, and the combination of resistances, that is 2Z0 by 3 plus Z0 by 3. Okay, so this is a voltage at the junction. And similarly if I calculate voltage at port 2 and port 3, so we will get V2 equal to V3 which is equal to, so we know at this port or this port, if you look at this junction, so we'll be having the voltage V, and so the impedance we are looking at the voltage is Z0 by 3, so then divided by Z0 by 3 plus the characteristic impedance Z0. So any port you look at, so this is the impedance Z0 and we are looking the voltage at this uh, junction, so that is Z0. So your V2 equal to V3 which is equal to, so you will get V2 equal to V3 which is equal to V1, that is V times so if we calculate this one, Z0 by 3 which is equal to this one, 3Z0 plus Z0, 4Z0 by 3. So we will get, so 3 will get cancelled, which will get 3 by 4 of V. So now we know, so what is the V, the voltage which is divided between the two ports, which is equal to half of this V1. So that V1 which is divided equally between ports and port 2, so then we can write V as half of, so V1 or, so that V2 or V3, so this port 2 or port 3, this is half of your V1, so V2 or V3 which is half of your V1. So since it is divided equally between port 2 and port 3, so we can take this one as half of V1, or you can derive from this, so V2 equal to V3 which is equal to V times 3 by 4. So now we know what is V here, So from this we will get it V as V1 times of 2 by 3. So now if you substitute this V1 of 2 by 3, which is V, so you will get half of V1. So V2 equal to V3 equal to half of V1. So now if you write the S matrix for this one, so what you will get? So if you write the S matrix, so since the ports are matched, that is P1, P2 and P3 ports are matched, so you can write it as S11, S12 and S22 and S33 as 0. And so the power is so divided between port 2 and port 3, so that is half of the power. So that we can write it as between 1 and 2 and 1 and 3, you can write it as half. And you can write the 2 1, it is since the network is symmetric, you can write it as 1 2 equal to 2 1 and 1 3 equal to, that is 3 1. And similarly between 2 to 3, so there is a power division, half of the power it will be going to divide. So now this is a S matrix for your resistive network. So now if you compute the total power delivered and the power delivered between port 2 and port 3, okay, so this is a calculation whatever I shown till now, okay. So this will be the S matrix, and if you take the power delivered at the input side, you will be having half of V1 square by Z0. So the output powers, which is equal to P2 equal to P3, so which is equal to half into, you substitute the value of the P in, so since it is divide equally the power, so this will become 1 over 8 into V1 square by Z0. So this actually it will be equal to 1 by 4 P in. So now if I total power, if I add here, so the total power if I add here, that is P2 plus P3, which will be equal to 1 by 4 P in plus 1 by 4 P in, that is equal to 1 by 2 into P in. That means only half of the power it is going to be delivered. So if you take here, so the total power if you calculate at P2 and P3, so it will be only the half of the total input power it is delivered, okay. That means another half of the power it is dissipated in this resistive network, okay. Whatever the half power which is going to deliver at the port 2 and port 3, and another half of the power which is dissipated in the resistive network. So that is what, so this resistive divider, so that's why since it is a lossy, so we will go for another very important divider, that is power divider, which we will call it as Wilkinson power divider, okay. So this is a S matrix for resistive network and this is a power delivered. So since the junction, that is resistive divider, which will be having lossy, so the only half of the power it is delivered to the port 2 and port 3. So that's why what we will do, we will go for the Wilkinson power divider. This is a special type of power divider in which, so the power it is equally divided between the port 2 and port 3. So whatever power you give at the port 1, the power which is equally so delivered between port 2 and port 3. And also there is no reflection which is, if it is having some mismatch at the port 2 and port 3, so there is no reflection coming to the port 1. Instead the reflection which is coming at port 2 or port 3, which will be dissipated in this resistor. So that's why this is the resistor at which is connected at the output ports between port 2 and port 3. So this will be serves the purpose of, if any mismatch happened between port 2 and port 3, that reflection will be dissipated in this resistor. That is reflected power which is dissipated in this resistor. So that's why this Wilkinson power divider, it is very much useful in the power division, okay. So as I said, this is a useful property, and in this Wilkinson power divider, so we'll be having all these conditions. So we'll be having at all ports, matched at all ports, and it is reciprocal. Okay, and it is reciprocal. Since the output ports are connected with the resistor, so this will be having lossy. Okay, so since we already seen the 3-port network, both we cannot achieve reciprocity as well as lossless network. So one of the component we need to compromise for the 3-port network. So that's why what in this Wilkinson power divider they have done, so they are compromised in the lossless portion, which will become lossy. The network is reciprocal and all the ports are matched. So if you do like this, all the ports are matched, the port 1, port 2 and port 3 are matched, and also it is reciprocal, then the power division, which will be equally, it will be divided between port 2 and port 3. Okay, so this is about the Wilkinson power divider. And so in order to analyze this Wilkinson power divider, so we will go for a specialized technique which is called as even and odd mode analysis. So now what is meant by even mode and odd mode analysis? So now if you take P2 and P3, okay, so now if I excite P2 and P3 with the equal voltage, that is 2V0, say for example here also 2V0. So now if I excite the both the ports with the same voltage, with the same magnitude and same phase, so then it will be called it as even mode analysis. And if you excite the port between port 2 and port 3, so we need to excite these ports, or excite these ports with the opposite phase. That is, one you need to give voltage as 2V0 and another you can give it as minus 2V0. So then the total voltage if you take at this port, so it will be the combined of even and odd modes. Then you will get one you will get the 4V0, which is having the total voltage, and you will get the corresponding the port matching and as well as the power division. Another mode which will give odd mode, which will give 0. So by taking these voltages we can easily analyze the this Wilkinson power divider using this odd and even mode technique. Okay, so this is important in this network, the power division. So that even and odd mode analysis takes so some specialized calculations, and the calculations we will see in the next class, because it will take more time to analyze that even and odd mode. So we need to calculate the all the voltages between ports, each and every port and point. So we will see that even and odd mode analysis in the next class. Okay, so now this is understood. So the resistive network as well as the T junction power divider. Any doubt in this? Hello? 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 Bharat, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Karthik, any doubt? Hello? Hello, Karthik? Pavan? Sushin?
No
Hello?
doubt, sir.
Okay. So this we will see in the next class, that even mode and odd mode analysis.